Gee.
The lieutenant shakes his head, as though to say, let it go. Come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not about stars. It's...
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved. Or...
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume. I don't want to talk about Deweeters. Addicts. All of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming. They don't like me cleaning behind their door. Think I'm listening in on their fight.
We saw unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted?
No one likes them in this building. It's only because of the kids they haven't been thrown out. I don't like talking about those people.
She mumbles some kind of a response. You hear someone walking around. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, "The shackle snaps like a twig."
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. Then honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
I suspect that's exactly what they're trying to do. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems. Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov? Sure it is. Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns, but it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you. Ah, very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you? Then it's settled. You are not Krasmazov. Alright, but here's the big thing. Krasmazov looks Samaran, and you don't. Yes, he does. Look at his eyes. Wasn't his mother a Samaran immigrant? Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway? I think you have misunderstood who he was, but if you say so. The White Star, the photos on the wall, I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly, but no, you can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Did you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid...
And the place comes with 3 months' worth of utility bills.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. It should be easy. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Snip. The cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door.
I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick.
A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Score. It's right there, baby. Today's your lucky day. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. It's not ideal, no, but you need the zeal. See, that's your problem. A lack of confidence. It'll make you into more than that. A mega cop. You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic and stings a bit inside your nose. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches. And, let's be honest, there's a little chest pain. The good kind, of course. You may want to blast a nosophed or something. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the paranatural. Then build a radio computer. Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco. Time for a little truth. Tell the lieutenant you did some. Clear the air.
I'm not your mother. I don't care. Do what you have to do.
As long as you remain functional. To this. You kidding? There are downsides to not being on it. There are massive downsides. Spring. Everything is clear around you.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed gives +1 to motoric skills. Perception, reaction speed, hand-eye coordination,
bundle of clothes heaped on the bed, a stained parka, some towels and a duvet, some socks even. In the dark, it looks like a nest. Something underneath there is breathing. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. Your hand touches a greasy duvet. You see a 60-year-old, fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol and God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down. He's already down. Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body.
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit. We could take him to Remedy or Saint-Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few.
The pile of blankets grunts miserably. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges, and then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs. His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again.
At least he got to say his piece. I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. A groan rises from the man's throat.
Well, judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is.
The lieutenant's right. The man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eye.
No, it really doesn't. This looks very hard to recover from. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but...
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty, and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake.
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed substance abusers. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight. Look, he's trying to communicate. What is there to do? We could take him to They don't do...
The pile of blankets grunts miserably.
Well...
The lieutenant's right.
I think he's still quite bad. This man won't be feeding his...
A pair of half...
Look, he's trying to communicate.